Hey everyone, Brett here, and today I want to talk to you about patterns, how life speaks in patterns. You know, a lot of people think that they can understand everything in life through just thinking. But life's not linear, it's cyclical, and it works in patterns, seasons, in cycles, in rhythms. And, you know, life moves through nature. And as it moves through nature, it moves through in seasons. And each season has a different quality of energy to it that has a different result, a different outcome, a different way that life shows up. And most of nature, animals and aspects of nature, realize these seasons and accept them. They might not have to think or rationally do this, but it's just part of how life organises through nature. The thing is, with human beings, we often want to fight this, or we're just not aware of it. And so when we're resisting actually life moving through nature in the way that it does, we may see it as a problem. And the thing is, like, at different times, in different seasons, there's a different amount of energy and there's a different outcome, a different way in which life expresses itself. You think about it, in the winter, there's less energy. It's colder. There's less movement. The bears, they decide, all right, well, I'm done here. I'm gonna have a rest. They hibernate for the winter. Different animals the same, doing different. It's just a totally different way of life in the winter. And the system in which we operate in as human beings doesn't allow for so much the winter. We put on some warm clothes, but we try and function the same way as we would in the summer as far as life goes, and school and work and business. We try and operate at the same consistency all year round. Human beings, there's so many aspects of our life. We're not just operating in one holistic way of being. There's business, there's family, there's relationships, there's our health. There's so many aspects and lenses we witness through, and sometimes they're in different seasons. This is the interesting part. We're not always moving with the same season that nature is at any one time. At different stages in life, at different times in life, at different domains of life, in different lenses or spaces in life, we have a certain amount of energy and capacity, which is a different season. And we're trying to operate in a different season because we're condemning this. Also, too, you look at the winter. We could gather the winter's a time that things even collapse. They're breaking down. They're minimising in some way. There's less energy, so it's minimising. And then there's the spring. The spring's more. There's more happening. There's more vibrancy. There's, from a human perspective, more momentum, more opportunities, more possibilities. And then we've got the autumn, which is in nature. You see it. The trees, they drop their leaves. They let go, they shed. You see it with other animals too, like with the snakes, they shed their skin. The different animals drop their fur. There's a letting go. There's a shedding and a letting go of what no longer serves for this next stage of the journey, so something else new can form. The snake acquires a new skin. The trees drop their leaves and then make space for something new. As human beings, we become attached to things. So we often don't see the autumn as autumn, we see it as winter. We see it as breaking down and collapse because there's this turbulence. So it's asking us to let go. It's asking us to let go of the old, to shed the old skin, and to allow space for something new. If we can see it and witness it as this, we don't see it as the breakdown now. It's interesting. So we want to be able to witness and see what season of life we're in. Then there's the summer, more energy, more light. Things are different. You see it with the moon cycles, which is really the energy of the sun and a reflection off the moon. But as the cycle changes, the energy on the earth changes, things change. And the full moon, there's more crime, there's more wild behaviour. It's just there's a different light, a different energy causing a different outcome within the system. So if we can ask, what season am I in, whether it be in a certain area of life or in life in the whole, as our life is an overall whole, there will be an overall theme or energy or light or season or cycle that we're in. When we can accept or play the game more according to the season that we're in. When it's time for movement, when it's time to create, when it's time to expand, when it's time to downsize, when it's time to let go. And to realise it's not actually a breaking down. It's just that the things that we're supposed to let go of, that as a human being we become attached to. And this may be beliefs, it may be emotional, it may be things. That's how there's more complexity to the human system, that the letting go may be on many different levels. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And so when we can realise what cycle we're in, what season we're in, and try and move within that. If we're in the spring and it's time for momentum and time for movement, and we're still downsizing, we're missing an opportunity. But if we're in the winter and we're trying to operate like we would in the spring, in the summer, the capacity's not there. So let's take a look at this and realise that life works in patterns, operates in patterns, also to synchronicities. You see things, you witness things. Like, I had a really interesting one a few years back, and at times I was experiencing life as breaking down at this stage. But then I got to witness it as this extraordinary, excuse me for a minute please, this extraordinary autumn, a shedding, a letting go, a moving into a new way. And I'd been through a separation, and it got quite chaotic and destructive, or turbulent, let's say. And it was an intense year. It was autumn. But at times I was experiencing it as a collapse, as winter. When I was able to have more light awareness and more capacity, I was able to see it for what it was. And I went to India, and I ended up doing a pilgrimage through the Himalayas. And the synchronicities of the dates were just profound. The day I got there was the same day the year before that I was married. The day that I ended up getting back from the pilgrimage was the same day, same date, a year ago that we decided to separate. The day that I flew back from India was the same day that I flew with my 4 kids back from England to Australia the year before. And it was just like the dates and the synchronicities, this is a pattern. They're patterns often we're not aware, but when you can, you see that life's always arranging in different patterns, different seasons, different rhythms, different ways. Everything is a pattern, and that's the same as our internal experience. All these patterns that have been constructed, all these energetic, emotional belief systems. All of this is a sequence of energetic patterns. And when we can start to witness our own patterns and our what's going on here, we start to realise the patterns in life, and we start to be able to see it more. Anyway, that's enough for me for now. Much love.